Well, one thing I'll mention real quick, and then I'll give you some parting words thing too. I think you and I talked about, and I want to plug this real quick. If you are a Spanish speaker and you want to do something like this and interview people who are doing BAM things in Spanish, let Mike or I know, because we would love to try to put something like this together in Spanish, hosted by a Latino Spanish speaker, interviewing people in Spanish. So let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. And you will have all the contact information. Scott and I did talk about this, and this is not two Americans hosting a Latin, Spanish speaking podcast. This is a Spanish speaker, a native Spanish speaker. Would be your podcast or your team's podcast. We'll teach you how to do it. We'll help you with the technology if you need that. We'll coach you, but this is another way of getting the word out. So yeah, thanks for bringing it. I'd forgotten that, and I'm glad you brought that back up. Hadn't forgotten it in the big picture, but just for today.
Sure.
So yeah, let us know if you're interested, and we will be more than happy to work with you to help make that happen.
And then I think the final words I would just say, the thing that I've always felt focused on in missions is that wherever we are, whatever we're doing, is mission. I think so often we want to put certain things on a pedestal, and that's not the way God intends it. I know very few pastors want it to be that way either, but I think we end up looking at it and saying, oh, he's a pastor. Yeah, there is certainly a level of respect and honor that we need to give to people who God has called to be pastors. The Bible is clear about that. But it doesn't make their role something unique or highly special compared to what we have to do every day. Yes, they have a very unique and special calling that's theirs, but ours is equally important.
Yes.
It's just, and I think, that's been the problem for so long, is that we've got this, this sacred secular divide that's happened. And, we talk about it all the time, but often we just don't actually take it to heart, and I think that when we do, we start to see big changes happen in our lives. Because if we really do think about, is what I'm doing every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe half the day on Sunday.
A true entrepreneur spoke of that.
But I'm just talking about our regular life, not even just work, but even just our regular life, but also our work is included in that, right? Is it really, because I think it's easy for us to take that 2 hours in the morning and say, I'm going to separate those for God, no matter what we're doing. But it's hard, genuinely hard, to say, I'm going to live every day, and do that for God.
Yeah.
All day. It's hard, Yesterday we went and helped at an event at our church. We're wrapping presents for, close and over 1,000 in total presents. And yesterday, 800 of them still needed wrapped, right? So we had a number of us go, and we're wrapping paper, and we come home and my wife just say, oh, my back hurts. And I say, yeah, my knees hurt. We're on this like hard concrete floor, wrapping presents. It's not easy, but you know what? My children were there with me, and they're learning how do we serve, and tons of kids are going to be blessed by those presents. But there's a choice we make to give our time and go do those sort of events, and I think all of our life has those choices that happen throughout the day, whether it's in the office, out of the office, at an actual church, wherever it may be. And the easy choice is often not the one that glorifies God,
Yeah.
And I think you're talking about that perseverance, have a 5-year-old son. Let me tell you, he doesn't want to do the things that glorify God most of the time. And what I hear all the time is, I want to do what I want to do. Yeah, so do I, That's what I keep telling him. So do I. But I know that that's not what God wants me to do a lot of the times. A lot of the times, my carnal self still wants to do things that God doesn't want me to do. And that's going to happen from year 5 until you're 95, 105, the Lord takes you home. But making those hard choices every day is, I think, what I would say we all need to be doing. Being willing to take that hard decision and keep doing it over and over again. Ooh, it's not easy.
I love it.